Hello everyone, this is just a quick guide to getting Auggie working with Pokeys. Here I'm connected to my 57. So here we are on the Pulse Engine screen that you'll get with Pokeys, and I'll leave it up to you for the most part to run your Pokeys. You probably already know how to configure it, but the only thing that Auggie really worries about is the maximum speed, acceleration, and deceleration. These can be set from Auggie, but you want to set up everything reasonably here. Soft limits can also be set. The biggest thing that you're setting inside the Pokeys is the switch settings. Auggie doesn't give you any access at all to your switch settings. You also want to make sure that you uncheck the lockbox up here. Make sure that you check the external if you're using the 57 CNC, and extended I/O. If you don't check extended I/O, you won't get step pulses. So check extended I/O, and down here is the I/O that Auggie will turn on first, sometime over the next couple of weeks. OC outputs and relays. Other than that, you want to make sure that you can run from here. If you can run from here, then you're probably laughing. Set it to automatic. You can see that the numbers are changing. Make sure that each axis is working the way that you figure it should work, and then hit Save Configuration. And that's all you have to do. Then exit out of this mask entirely. Under Configuration, you will find a Connect button. And this Connect button will allow you to save a copy of a Pokeys. Maybe you want to save what's inside your Pokeys because you just use it with Mach 4 and you don't want to lose its setup. Or you want to save a setup that you've done and everything's working perfectly in Auggie. You want to save it so you can go back to Mach 4 without losing what you've set up here in Auggie. Here you will see the detected hardware on your network or on your USB ports. Here you can see I've got two. I've got a Pokeys 57. I would select that and say Use Selected for the motion device, and then Pokeys 56U, which on mine I use for an I/O device. Auggie will use two devices at the same time for a total of 110 pins, but it will only do motion on one device. So I'm picking my 57 as the motion. If you want to back up a device, select it up here in the box, which one you're going to back up, and then hit the Save and Restore Config button. That will allow you to save a file or load a file into a Pokeys if you want to reset it back to a known configuration. When you're happy, hit Apply. You can see when we're in this mask, both are disconnected. The red lights on the side of the screen are indicating that you have no connection. If we hit Apply, you'll hear a couple sticks hitting together, and they both came online. We can then E-stop, and you can see that we have a number 3, so we are good to go for motion on our motion Pokeys. That's it for configuring a Pokeys. It's all you really need to worry about. Configuration in Auggie is really easy because all the configuration is already in your Pokeys. Alright, so after that, run Auggie. And when you're in Auggie, you may be asked at that point whether you want to use the data in the Pokeys or the data in Auggie. If you know that the Pokeys data is good, just copy it into Auggie. And generally, you should copy from Pokeys to Auggie because Auggie doesn't give you any access to switch configuration. It needs at some point to read it from a Pokeys. So if you've just set it up, then tell Auggie to use the Pokeys data. After that, go into configuration and we'll go to the engine config, and here you can set up things like your steps per unit, maximum velocity, and acceleration. You can use just as high a number as you want because this is a jerk limited planner, and I'll show you how to tune your acceleration. You can set your soft limits and turn them on or off. Also down here, home speed and home return speed, and whether or not your homing goes in a reverse direction. Set up your axes so that they've got the factors you want, and then on the last screen you'll notice you have a setting for max jerk, CV radius, and waypoint optimization. When it comes to these settings, we'll take a look at them so that you'll have a better idea of what to set. But with waypoint optimize, leave it set to true, and safety script timer, leave it set to true. That's for turning off a script that is run wild or is running too long for you. Okay, after that you should be able to hit your E-stop button, and you should get motion if you try jogging. If you've set up your system properly at this point, you should be able to move or you should get an error. Over here on the right hand side of the screen we have two lights. The top light is whether your motion Pokeys is online, and the second light is whether your IO Pokeys is online. The number beside these is right here, number 3, for example. That is my motion Pokeys current status. Number 3 means running. These are diagnostic displays that I use during development, but you should know that if you've got a number 3 there, it means you're successfully talking to your motion Pokeys and everything is okay. This bar here above the toolpath is a fill. And if you right click on it, you can see right now it says 2000. That means I'm sending 2000 1 millisecond waypoints every quarter second. So that's 8,000 waypoints I'm sending per second at the moment, so it's well over. Normally you'll see that at about 400 when the system's running normally.